Stand On It. I'm your host, Fasad.
And I'm your host, Byron Gaylor. We're here today with Dartanyan Tinsley, Owensboro legend, that has started off high school career here, went on to a little smaller college, then led to going to Cincinnati.
That's right.
And now that his career at Cincinnati's over, he's put his name in the hat for the NFL draft. Tell us about that journey.
Well, I appreciate y'all, having me on today and whatnot. Journey's definitely wild. Being a kid from Owensboro, Kentucky, grew up here. Also grew up in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area as well. But you just get into the game of football just wanting to have fun with it, and that's why I tell a lot of the youth, like, you're here to have fun with it, enjoy it while it's early, because when you get to that high school, college level, it's going to speed up. I think for me, went to middle school up there in Newport, Kentucky, with my dad's side of the family, of course. Didn't really do great, you know what I mean? Was kind of like, all right, good running slash fullback. I was a little bigger than most kids, so played a little fullback there. Moved on, graduated, 8th grade, of course. Went on to play high school ball up here. Got here my freshman year, didn't really play. That would have been pretty sure your senior
My
year.
senior year, yep.
Yeah, so unfortunately we didn't get to share the same number while we was there. We wear it now, both of us wore.
54.
Yeah, both of us wore
If you wear
54.
54 to Owensboro, you better represent it
I
right.
mean, we coming for you.
Even Kristen Woods wore.
But had to sit out my first year there, just kind of do the transferring whenever we did, and then football season already being underway. But I usually tell people, to sum up my whole high school career, it wasn't very great. It wasn't very great, and I'm honest with myself, and I'm honest with people when I tell them that. Sophomore year of high school, kind of just now getting back into the groove of things, where you go from the last time you played football being middle school to now it's high school ball, and you're trying to fight to play varsity, to where the point I got hurt at that time, and kind of pulled a little hip flexor and whatnot, so didn't really play a lot that year. Kind of set that year out. Came back into it my junior year of high school. Didn't really play much again. You can ask Coach Houston, of course, Ty Houston, but you can ask Coach Houston. I think at that time he probably would have called me soft. He probably was like, yeah, he's soft. Like, I don't think he's gonna make it. That's how Coach Houston talks. He's like, I love him, but he's not gonna make it. But at that time he was probably right. He was probably right. I think for me, I had to find that grit and find that nastiness that I didn't have. Best thing I had that year was probably playing JV. I was a junior playing JV. That is unheard of already. But came into my senior year, hungry and ready to, want more for myself. I think Coach Houston kind of pushed me towards that the last game of my junior year. We played Bowling Green, where everybody knows about Bowling Green in the Owensboro community. They're usually always great. They blew us out that year. So I remember around the fourth quarter, 5-minute mark of that game, it's still etched in my brain. Coach Houston comes over to me. He's like, emotional, of course, because he's losing a whole senior class that he's real close to. And he kind of looks at me. He's like, you can be great at this football thing, but you have to find it in yourself to take it seriously.
Yeah.
And, for me, that's probably the first time in my life I've seen a grown man emotional, to where the point like tears are coming out of their eyes and opening up. So I was like, okay, if this guy sees something in me, obviously there's something there that I haven't tapped into. So came into senior year off season, lifting a lot, training with my uncle Orlando Tinsley and whatnot. Both of my cousins, Kamari Tinsley and Kawan. Kawan was the same grade as me. Kamari at this point was at Kentucky Christian, which we'll get to that.
My boy.
Yeah, but training, and even more training, and got to the point where I earned a starting job at Owensboro. Started right tackle my last year. Went on to, be 10-3 that year. Not to toot our horn, not to toot the horn of the class of 19, but the last class to beat Bowling Green.
You better toot that on.
Yeah, man. But
toot that on.
I remember we played them earlier in the year, lost like 21-12 or something like that. But you could kind of feel in the air that we felt that we was a better team that night. It was just some, slight mistakes in the special teams side of things that kind of threw it off into a different, scenario with us not winning. But played them in the second round of playoffs, had them at Rash. beat them 28-21, but was up on them like 28-7 most of the game. Went on from there. Of course, we lost to the eventual state champions, South Warren, where they had dogs from top to bottom. Quarterback committed to Duke. That's Gavin Spurrier, which is Steve Spurrier's grandson.
Yeah.
You had Clayton Bush, was a 4-star safety, went to Western, went to Illinois for a while. You had Jacob Lacey, went to Oklahoma and Notre Dame. So stacked from top to bottom. And as much as I love, Orangeburg football, and I love my teammates, at that point we were kind of overmatched. So it would have took almost a perfect game to win that one. But we fell short in that game, and then the big time decision kind of came around, which was, do you try to walk on somewhere at the Division I level? Like, do you think that you're that great at that point, or do you go small? And for me at the time, I only had Kentucky State, Kentucky Christian, Kentucky Wesleyan, a couple of small D3s. Talked to Lindsey Wilson, but the crazy part is Lindsey Wilson never offered.
Really?
Never. Georgetown, nothing. So
I missed out on that one.
yeah, so you had those, and then the opportunity to probably walk on at Eastern. For y'all, of course, y'all know my family, and the community knows my family, but we ain't got money to just be throwing for you to go to school. So you gotta go where it's the best financially. And at that time, Kentucky Christian threw the most money. And I had 2 cousins that went there. I had Kamari, and then Kawan came up there as well.
To clarify, through the most money. Don't make nobody thinking because NIL was around.
No, it wasn't around.
But I'm just saying, let's clarify it, because you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
They gave you the most scholarship money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Look,
No, I'm just saying.
Let me say it like this. If anybody that's watching this thinks that Kentucky Christian University had NIL money, they never searched up Kentucky Christian University, guys. We're talking about Owensboro Middle School Stadium is bigger than Kentucky Christian's.
Oh,
no lie.
So, it's a very humbling experience, and I'm a humble guy.
Very much.
Yeah, I love ball, and that was the best, spot to go play football.
Okay.
So you're talking about a school of 600 kids and 5 buildings. There's no NIL there. There's no NIL there.
Okay.
So to clarify, though, best scholarship offer at the time was from Kentucky Christian.
Now, before you go any, I just want to ask one question, especially for the younger viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just put the emphasis on just going to college, and because like you said, didn't have the best of high school careers, so you didn't have a whole lot of big offers and stuff like that. But the offers that you did have, and the advantage that you took of those offers, because we get in our mind that we have to have the best. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be the best. If it isn't the best, then it's not suitable for us because it's not the best. But as you're stating, the journey you had, it's like, okay, man, I had to. I want the youth to really understand, the process of that.
Man, I tell any kid in a heartbeat, it's already a blessing for you to go play college football.
Yeah, bingo.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if it's JUCO, D3, NAIA. Now, I think it's up to you and how you're set up mentally that decides on if that's where you stay or if that's where you move on from.
Well, it did get a little harder now. You see that little rule that just passed, so it's about to get way harder now.
Yeah.
What's that? Explain.
He's referring to the rule in which Vandy's quarterback Diego Pavia kind of got into with the NCAA about his last year eligibility due to him being at a JUCO. So they passed a rule pretty much saying if you played at a non-affiliated NCAA school, then you have extra eligibility. So we're talking about guys
that's where you get them 11 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you play 2 years JUCO, and then you can play
2 years.
2 years NAIA.
Yeah, you could do 2 years JUCO, 2 years NAIA, and then go play 4
years
NCAA.
Yeah, and that's
you can have a whole college career, like a professional career.
Seriously,
and then hang it up.
Yeah, hang it up.
And it's not to go off topic, but it makes it tougher for those high school kids for
Very
sure.
tough.
Yeah. So, but that also ties back into, like we were saying, I think if anything, it'll make you even more grateful now to get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because now it's so slim to none.
Yes. Yeah.
So
take advantage.
It's gonna show who wants it more for real.
Yeah.
Take advantage of your opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just all about using that and not viewing it as a bad thing if you do have to settle for something smaller, but viewing it as something to carry on with, and to use that as motivation to attack your goals. Because I mean, in my situation, in my journey, am I kind of one of the first people from here to do it? Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it can't be done again. You know what I mean? It could happen again. You could be like Boomer. Boomer went and played at Campbellsville, and he holds a rushing record, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And he had a shot at the league. So it's like it's all about how you attack it. It's whatever your mindset is.
Yeah. And as you were stating, you went from Owensboro High to Kentucky Christian. Kentucky Christian. Now, yeah, please, because I didn't know it was that small.
How did that happen? Please, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off, but how did that? I've never understood how that happened. Like, how did Cincinnati come find you at Kentucky Christian? What did you do?
So are we going from Kentucky Christian to Cincy?
Yeah, what did you do to get how what did you do? Because like you said, it wasn't the best. I mean, I played in it. We played against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Right.
How did that happen?
Man, let me take out the 1987. Now I'm checking out. No, but
the experience of at Christian life.
Because I'm proud. That makes me happy. Just like a man, like
because how it was explained, and I let you explain it. Just the years there, like your time there, and then for that time there, like the body of work you could and you could tell that we're not talking about the same high school kid.
No, we're not.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen
them put in that work. No, and I'm saying, and this just leading up to your story, because as you're about to explain to us that time, that tender there at Kentucky Christian, how it was, and then for the next step that you took, like based off of that, it's like,
bruh, I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think people understand when I say last time I seen you, because I went off to college. Like I said, I was a senior, you was a freshman. I went off. He's doing. I didn't get to see that sophomore, junior, like your Friday nights, and so I didn't get to see it.
Right.
But then I see him. I come back one day, and I see him. I said, "Who's that? Who's that?" Come on, that's okay. He's like, no. Ain't no way. I said,
he definitely got something. He got something that you can't teach in that side.
Right.
I mean, he definitely has a side. You just can't teach that naturally. You know what I mean? Like first time I ever met him, I was like, all right, okay. Big size guy.
You ain't playing for Cincinnati for no reason.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. I think as far as like the Kentucky Christian landing, it had to do with that. A kid that went from 6'1" to 6'4" in a matter of a year, a matter of the summer. Yeah. So, just already it looked unnatural on him, let alone, it wasn't me now where it's like, oh, he's put together, he's out there running around. Like, it almost looked like I might trip over my own 2 feet at times. But yeah, like, it's just, I kind of feel like that tied into it. The idea of 1 year of high school football that you really were at the top of your game and the idea of needing to be developed. I think that small ball had to be a thing for me at that time. I don't think if I was to go D1 right out of high school, I would be where I am.
That's another thing I want to say. I'm happy you said that. So I got another thing. The difference people don't understand, because the difference between NAIA practice and D1, how is that first week there whenever you was putting through? I know you didn't go in there and put the helmet on and play. You had to go weight lifting and all that first. How was that first week when you got there? Was it the worst week of your life?
Absolutely.
I guarantee.
Absolutely. I go from. You got to think. You go from playing your last game at KCU in early November. I want to say like November 17th or so, and then NAIA football. You're off.
Right. You going home, man.
You're off.
We ain't doing football. We going home.
You're going home and you're working and you're chilling with family and you're working out. But it's not that level of intensity when it comes to working out. It's probably, going in there, you're putting up, I don't know, your 4x8. I still have the same workout thing from when I was in high school on my phone, but probably doing 4x8 on bench press and some dumbbells, but you're not running. You're not doing sprint work probably. Your mom's not telling you to do that. So, my first week at Cincinnati, man, we get through the warm-up. And this is just me and a coach, just one on one for the first week, because they know you can't throw that kid in the ringer yet. Like he's never experienced anything like that, so you had to build up that that stamina and that endurance. But we go through the warm up, and this is just your band work and your stretches and your high intensity curls and stuff like that. And I'm cooked.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I did a whole workout to where the point I'm doing bench press. You got 175 pounds on. I'm struggling. Now, to clarify, I bench
no, I'm
way
saying,
more than
no, I'm
175
saying, bro,
now.
they broke you down,
Yeah,
bro. That's what they did. They
yeah,
broke you down.
yeah.
I'm
So
saying that I feel it.
yeah, so you had to go through that portion in that time period to get to where you're at now, and then you're talking practices. I tell anybody the college game itself is always going to be faster than the high school game.
Yeah, for sure.
The Division I level is
Even
10
faster.
times faster than the NAIA level, but you still got dogs at the NAIA level.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But my first week there, man, it felt like things were coming 1,000 miles an hour. I'm like, oh, okay. So you're telling me that kid right there is 6'2", 265 pounds and runs a 4.7, where you got DNs at the NAI level probably running 5'1s. Like, or you telling me that kid on the other end, he's 6'3", 250 running a 4.5. Like, or for example, my first year there, we had an All-American linebacker. He plays for the Vikings now, Ivan Pace Jr. And he's probably 5'10", maybe 6 foot, 220 or so, but it's got the power of a lineman. Same what you put through your legs on the squat bar, he's got that. So he's running right through you, and you got to figure out a way to stop him. So I think for me, man, just having to really try to get the game to slow down, and I think you kind of learn that more when you understand the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Was the biggest thing my first couple of weeks.
And that's another thing. Sorry, let me catch you. Another thing. The playbooks are different. It's way more. Hey, you ain't getting this. I got this Lindsey Wilson. I got a little book like this to go over and look through. All right, cool. We know it.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 times different, for all the checks and all the other stuff you gotta know. I guarantee you it is, because ours was, I don't want to say dummified, but it was a dummified playbook, but it made sense. Up there is just different because you got NFL level people,
right?
So our players. So you NFL.
I mean, that's I mean, you would think. I mean, it's just like what, elementary, middle school, high school. Like I guess what NIA, what's after NIA and college.
D2, because you probably played.
You might say D3 or low
No, but I'm just saying the levels to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're playing D1 ball. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing as far as college football. There's nothing after D1 football but the NFL. So yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, you got to be on your thing, man. You know what I mean? So now, how many years was the tender at the smaller university?
So at KC.
Yeah. How many years were you there?
I was there 3 years. Went into it my freshman year, redshirted. Again, I kind of tie that back into the developmental stage. Even like we just said, even with high school football in Kentucky and then Western Kentucky being pretty good, it's still gonna be faster at Kentucky Christian.
Okay.
Like he could probably vouch that there's dogs at Lindsey Wilson that move like they're supposed to be at the D1.
Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of took that year to develop my skills, develop as a player, and then sophomore year started. Of course, that was our COVID year. So we played 8 games with 6-2, and that's what I'm saying. It's like the best record in program history. But I was there, started right tackle, all conference, all in NCCAA, which is like the Christian League, first team all academic, stuff like that. And then third year there, pretty much repeated the same thing. Now there's other things that tie into that we can circle back around and get to, as far as coaching staff leaving after the second year and me possibly going there, but we can circle back around to that. But yeah, pretty much repeated the same thing my last year. Again, first team all conference. Academics again. Yeah, my granny don't play about academics, neither does my mom. So first team academics again, and then on to Cincinnati was after that. So Yeah, 3-year tender there. You know, rest the other 3 were at Cincy. So
and it's basically history because I mean that to go from basically like you described the campus to me. You said that our middle school is or our high school is probably just as big as that campus, and then you step from that atmosphere out to Cincinnati. Even though you grew up in that area
hmm
as a young child or whatnot, what was it like to go from you know you kind of moved up like George Jefferson, man. You moved on up. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like you went from this smaller place to like the big time, the bright lights, big stage for real.
hmm
What is that experience like, in itself?
I think for me, uh, everybody uses words like surreal and amazing and
Uh,
things. For me, man, I just was blessed.
yeah,
I was blessed, and I felt grateful.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
it could have been anybody else. Somebody else could have the same story,
yeah,
and there's so many things that had to go into the story uh, to make it what it is now. So I think for me, I was just at times was I in awe, of course, because you go from playing in front of 100 people on a Saturday to 41,000 fans screaming and hollering when you make plays or when you mess up. But I think for me, man, it was just a moment of gratefulness and thankfulness, um, and that's pretty much it, man. It wasn't nothing really past that. You know what I mean?
How do you stay on that focus? Because there was one point where you didn't give up any sacks, you
hmm
know. So to be like you say, this bright lights, big stage, going from a smaller crowd to bigger crowd, playbooks being, more amplified and just everything just being more amplified. Like what did you have to muster in yourself to be like, okay, man, I got to stay grounded, I got to stay hungry because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people have got in those positions and all of that's not only just went to their head, but they lost focus.
hmm
It's let's do this, let's do that, let's party, let's do everything but what I come here to do.
Right.
Like, how do you stay focused in that moment?
I think you got to know who you are. Not only know who you are when you're there, but know who you are when what you was before you got there.
Uh,
So for me, I've never been a flashy kid. I've never been a partying kid. Like
okay,
I was always a kid, grew up in the church. I enjoy spending time with my family and watching movies.
okay,
Nothing changed.
yeah,
So I think when kids start losing the focus, and then also you got to ask yourself what's your goals and what's your aspirations. For me at the time was when I was at the NAI level, just the opportunity to go play bigger ball. Right. You got that opportunity, so why squander that by doing something stupid
yeah,
or focusing on a female that you might not marry?
yeah,
Like it's just simple stuff, and I think that's where people get caught up. They entertain simple stuff, whether that's drama back home, whether that's hopping on social media and posting, or doing something ignorant on a Saturday night, like things like that. And I think for me, I kind of had to keep reminding myself who I am.
yeah.
Who am I as a person? What
That's
do I
huge.
stand for?
That's huge.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what was that feeling? I know you said you didn't start your first year in Cincinnati. You didn't start your first year, did you?
Nope. Mm-mm.
So that next year, what was that feeling, man? When they told you, they probably tell you to start line up.
Mm-hmm.
What was that feeling they told you, man? Dartanyan Tinsley, you are a starter.
I mean, relief because you go from coming in with the staff with Coach Fickle and the coach that brought me to Cincinnati, which I know will tie back into that. But you go from being there with them and them deciding to leave and better themselves and go to Wisconsin to a whole new staff coming in. So you don't know that new staff could come in and they might have a left guard that they won't have a reporter that's coming with them. So the fact that they didn't and you're their guy, that's a sense of relief in itself. And which I kind of knew after that spring that was going to be an option,
Mm-hmm.
as far as me, starting and staying. So when season rolled around, I was kind of already comfortable.
Because it's springtime, you kind of look around in springtime like, I got that dude beat. I got him beat. You
Mm.
ain't messing with me. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is mine. Yeah,
absolutely. So you get
yeah.
a way of gauging at that time.
Now those workouts that you were introduced to, did
Mm.
you just basically ground yourself in those during that red shirt season? Did that get you to the moment of that starting position where you was like, okay, man, this is what I'm here doing. This is how I'm going to train myself. This is how we're working out.
That redshirt season at Cincy.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, so I technically played, but it was
Okay.
just field goal they counted against you. I wish they did not to have another year eligibility. But
hey, you was on the bus.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
big
no,
thing.
you
I don't
traveled.
matter.
You
You
got to see
travel.
the
You on
world.
the bus.
But yeah, no, for me, I think the workouts kept me going as far as off season, and I wanted to attack them as hard as possible because you got to think. Imagine if I come up to you and you're at a Alabama or Cincinnati or Ohio State, and I said, "Yeah, we're bringing this NAI kid in, and he's gonna end up playing for us." You probably call yourself a fool and call the guy that's saying that a fool.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I had to use them workouts as those were my games. I had to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
To the point where when I was up there, I hold the record in deadlift. When I was up there, not to toot my own horn. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. But when it comes to
this is your journey, your story.
yeah,
This
exactly.
is what things that we need to know. Y'all want to know records and everything.
Yeah, so it just kind of ties into that hunger of wanting more. I think that's why I use those workouts for it. And you're always ready. I was always ready to go in. It doesn't matter if the game was close or if it was a blowout. For example, like my first snap ever as a Cincinnati Bearcat was against Arkansas, first game of the season.
Yeah.
Left guard's helmet came off. I had to go out there. Now we're talking 70,000+ people yelling "Woo Pig Suey," and I'm used to hearing 100 people yelling.
I bet your stomach was not that
I'm out there to where the point, man. Linebacker's name is Drew Sanders, plays for the Broncos now. We call Hike. Hits me with the meanest juke move I've ever been hit with in my life, playing O-line. To where the point I almost gave up the sack on that. I'm sitting there running, telling our quarterback at the time, Ben Bryant, I'm like, throw the ball, like you about to get sacked, like throw the ball, dog. But yeah, that was definitely a whirlwind. I remember they took me out right after that. Getting the film that Sunday,
that's the worst.
And Coach Cummins, he's asking me like, what happened right here, and I'm like, Coach, he got me. Like he got me. He looked at me, he's like, you're not ready yet, and it kept it pushing. So it's just. It's all a part of the process that it takes to get to where you're at now, and I don't take any of those for granted for sure.
Yeah, but those are moments like what we in now where you can go back, look at it, and be like,
I definitely can
man,
laugh at it now. I mean, because it's a funny time, especially with the answer I gave in film. Like I know if a kid told me that, I probably would react the same way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, man, hey, Coach, I got caught looking at the lights, man.
Big stage, baby.
But it's different though, man. I guarantee you, I ain't experienced, so I can't tell you, but I guarantee you, it's different, man.
Yeah, come on, man. I've heard, just other people's type of interviews where they said, man, they be out on that field, man, and there's the roar from the crowd. You can feel it on like on your feet and stuff, like just rumbling up through the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine, man.
Right.
Like you said, going from where we're at, you know what I'm saying, where we come from to going on that stage, man. You know what I'm saying? Being in front of all them people ready to go out there and perform, man. Like that's big, man. Like I say, you also give back a lot of your free time to the kids in the community and stuff, man.
Right.
And a lot of kids, man, they really look up to you.
Yeah,
They really look up to you and what you do and the time that you put into them. And that's why I say, your journey, your story is really important because right now, man, there's like those Wolfpack jerseys in the back, man. Those kids, man, they attend your camps.
Yeah,
absolutely. All of them attend your camps, man, free of charge. I want to put that out there. What you do, you know what I'm saying? Your expectations from these kids is, come out, have fun, participate. You know what I'm saying? And they come back to practice. Oh yeah, we just left Dartanyan's camp. Yeah, I mean they're hyped, they're ready. They're eager to learn and go forward now after being with you at your camps. Can you give us just your insight on that, like why that's so important to you?
Man, I don't know. It's always been in my heart. The idea of giving back, not just to the youth, but to your whole community. I think at the time, especially when I first started, you had a lot of different things going on, whether that was drugs or somebody getting shot or anything like that. To the point, you gotta use your platform, and God gives you a platform. And I don't push religion on anybody, but God gives you a platform to use. So you gotta use that. If He's gonna put you in this situation to where the point you're on TV and kids are seeing that, you got to use that to the best of your ability. And which led me to making my own foundation, One Dream One Goal Foundation, which we do tour drives, and Thanksgiving meals, and Easter meals, youth camps and stuff like that. And I just remember talking to Chad Morris, in which me and Chad super tight. It's like my brother from another mother. We chop it up often, but we got to a point where we were thinking, and you could kind of attest to this. Um, when was the last time that we had somebody in this situation in the city of Owensboro? And not only that, when was the last time that person took the time to come back and talk to the kids?
Yeah.
It's been a minute, because with us growing up, who do we have? I mean, I'm not trying to
Yeah, no,
disrespect
for real,
nobody, but like,
no, you did. That's what I'm saying. That's what,
mhm,
I don't know, and that's what I can tell you. I'm proud of you for that. I'm thankful for you.
yeah,
I like appreciate you.
Because a lot of people, like you say, man, when they get out of here, they get away from these circumstances,
mhm,
they don't come back.
yeah,
And that's their choice, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm not putting nobody down for that, because everybody has their reasons
yeah.
why they
Everybody
come
else
back
has
or why
choice.
they don't come back.
Mhm.
But a lot don't come back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And those that do, sometimes they don't. They definitely don't come back with anything. Not. You don't charge nothing.
no,
You don't want anything but to give back. And you're not. You're coming all the way from Cincinnati. There's times that this man has, literally drove from Cincinnati here, held his camp, done his presentation, did what he had to do, and then he drive right back. You know what I mean? Like with nothing, man. I've seen him do it. Like nah, man, gotta get back. Gotta
yeah. Got work out in the morning.
work.
Got practice.
Got something going on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's a testament to who you are, man. And like I say, that is huge for the youth to know and understand that.
Hmm.
Because like I said, you know, sometimes we get so caught up in what we're doing, we don't understand who's paying attention or who's watching. You know that. We're amazed at some of the people that tell us, hey man, we just watch your show and this and that. We're like, oh man, people really watching. People are paying attention to
Yeah.
us. And when you have the youth paying attention to you, man, like I believe that's like a more rewarding thing than anything, man, because each generation is different. My generation is definitely different from your all's generation.
Right.
And your all's generation is completely different from mine. So, and to know that, here I am at a 4-year-old man, but I have the youth that's watching and like, oh, I'm engaged in what Byron's saying, or
Hmm.
what Besides saying, what Dartanyan's saying. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's that's a big that's big, man.
Right.
Like
Because I
that's
mean, we all got to inspire and want goals for ourselves. And there's times where you get in situations where it doesn't happen a lot, that you kind of start losing hope in that goal. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So I think for me, the idea of pouring into the youth mostly is to get them to understand. Okay, I was once in your shoes. And not only was I once in your shoes, it didn't go picture perfect. But even if it doesn't go picture perfect, and let's say you slip up in the road, you could still be successful at the end of the day. It's all about how you set yourself up mentally. It's like what I tell the kids every year at the camp: whatever goal you have, attack it. And even when it feels like it's going away and you're slipping up, and it's getting even further away, continue to attack it. Because if you give up on it, and I use the analogy, if you keep running into the wall, and then you never get through it, 9 times out of 10, people just gonna fold and they'll go do something else. There's other jobs people have to do, but you continue to hit it and hit it and hit it, and you get through it. You get to reap the benefits and the rewards on the other side of it. So, I think that's a big thing for me, man, when it comes to the youth, or even somebody older as well. Like, just wanting more for yourself.
life lesson.
Yeah,
Period. No matter what age. So who were your inspirations? Who did you look up to
yeah.
as a young man, adolescent, and as an adult? Who inspires you?
I feel like you could go on and on for days on that one. There's a lot of people that you take motivation from, whether that's just a high school kid. Like I tell people all the time, Gavin Wimsatt, that's my little cousin. But the idea of seeing him go from a freshman that I was picking up in the morning and taking to school to going to Rutgers as a 17-year-old kid, I'm like, oh dang, like that'll make you want more for yourself. He's doing this as a 17-year-old, and that's just a small one. But for me, man, I think it's definitely mom is major. My grandma's major.
Shout out to my Dukes and grandma.
Yeah, man, because you talking about, you talking about two women that raised me, and my great granny as well. She had to raise me while my grandma went to work at Glenmore. So, talking about her just raising me from birth to, my granny working 40 plus years and providing for 7 grandkids, boys at that, is already crazy. So, and then you got my mom working, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, doesn't matter, but you never wanted for anything. How can you not want to keep going? How can you not say, okay, I can get up and do this? You don't have a reason not to. You know what I mean? So you got that, and then on the football journey, I guess those that have impacted, I would definitely say Coach Houston. My coach at KCU, I'd probably say both of them. So, DeVario Dorsey and Coach Robert Couchin, which he plays a major fact and role into this whole entire thing. We're not even talking Cincinnati football. We're not talking about me leaving KCU without Robert Couch being in that picture. So
Shout out.
I owe that man a lot of respect and a lot of his flowers for sure. But yeah,
that's what's up.
So the NFL talks. To me, I love it, dog, because I've been knowing you since high school. Sitting around the lunch table with you, cutting up. I'm a senior, you're a freshman. You had a little flat top. I ain't gonna say your nickname.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know what it is.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, most definitely.
Man, seeing you put your name in the NFL draft, man, that's amazing, dog. I'm like that makes me for real happy. Seeing another lineman too come out of Orangeburg doing it, like I love it. So NFL. I mean, I don't know, man. Like what you like. I don't want to say team wise. He said we ain't gonna ask that, but like, what's your what's your goal for the NFL?
I mean, play, but to go deeper, because that's cliche to just say play, but to go deeper, man, I think for me is just first to get that shot, whether that's round 1 through 7, just get that opportunity.
What that name called?
It doesn't matter if it's the Houston Texans or the Carolina Panthers or whoever. That doesn't matter. That shouldn't control your narrative of who you want to be as a player. I think first that, secondly would just be to go in and establish myself, being the opportunity to where the point you can learn from an older guy, but at the same time that you're learning, you're still playing. Because I think the best way of learning is to go out there and try it. Yeah. And even when you fail, get back up and keep on trying it again. So yeah, man, I don't know. I think the fact that the NFL wasn't a thing for me, at least 3 years ago, to it being one now is just like, hey,
I love it.
Again, let's throw our stuff at the wall. Let's see if it sticks, and God willing, we have a long career. So I don't stress or get really nervous or anything about it. When it happens, you make the most of that opportunity.
And the journey that you had to take to get there to this moment. Do you feel that is going to prepare you even more so? The fact that you didn't start where some of these other guys may have started at, but you're about to be where they're about to be, and the work that you had to put in to get to where they're at. Because, like you said, speaking about your earlier college moments at the Christian college, to where the workouts weren't as intense. The environment wasn't what it was going to Cincinnati, and then that first workout, that private workout where you were like, man, I'm missing. I got to keep going and going. That NFL experience in itself may be just as similar, because now you're going against these grown men. You're a grown man, and your wife alone, but these are some grown men. That 8, 10 year probably in the league. Been doing they know more of the game than what you know. So you're gonna come in and like, oh, here comes another little hungry one. Like here comes another one trying to. Here comes another one trying to take my spot.
Trent Williams. Just think about it. You possibly could have next to Trent Williams, somebody like that.
Yeah. And that'd be your mentor. That'd be the guy
That's
crazy. That you're under. That's it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Sit and think about it. Like, man, this man is about to be.
He's about to be on Mad. You say, I'm about to be playing with you on Mad.
And like I say, man, I have the utmost respect for him because the whole time that I've known this man, this has been his whole demeanor about everything that you say about Dartanyan Tinsley. When you give him his flowers, his accolades, and you talk about him as this athlete and this person, he's just thank you. Appreciate it. This is where I'm going, and I'm just like, where's that switch? Like, where's the switch at? Because I know that ain't you out there on that field. I've seen you play. That's not you on that field. He's not.
He's not. I don't really being a rah-rah guy anyway. I guarantee you, he's not no rah-rah guy. I ain't never got to line up against him.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, probably just okay. Let's go next way.
No, everybody got some competitive edge.
I'm not
a rah-rah guy, but I definitely when we get going, I know that it's business.
Time to go.
Very, very laid back, very peaceful. I don't really do a whole bunch of hooping and hollering pregame or nothing like that. But once we step on the field, it's 1st and 10 on the 25, and we got to go. It's time to execute.
Yeah,
whether that's inside zone, you got to move your guy out of there. Very next play, we got to go. I'm one of those guys. What are we waiting for? Why are we being patient? Let's go. Let's prove them wrong now. So when we in the fourth quarter, we up by 28. We can celebrate. So there's a switch. Now the switch is just kind of more, super, super focused and super locked in than it is more of, hey, y'all, we got to go out here and do. I don't do that.
You ain't got the Ray.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah, I've gave 2 pregame speeches in my whole career.
Were they like Ray Lewis?
Oh, no, they was deep. Yeah, they was very close to Ray Lewis-esque. But we lost both games, so I was back giving pregame speeches. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. I had the boy. I think I went too deep. I had the boys thrown off mentally or something. But nah. I tried twice. It didn't end well. So no more pregame speeches out of this guy.
I got another question too. Something outside of it too, but who was the best team you played? Was it Alabama? Or did you play Bama?
Nah, I came in the year after they played Bama.
Okay.
So I never even got to meet Sauce, Kobe, Desmond, none of them. I have now, but at the time, no.
Well, what was the best team you got to face off against in college football?
In my 3 years?
In your 3 years, Cincinnati.
Trying to think. 22 year. We played UCF, also Tulane and Arkansas, so in Louisville in the bowl game, but I don't really count that. I'd have to go either this year or last year. So either Kansas State this year or West Virginia last year. That Oklahoma team, respect, but we could have did better against them. I don't think that was the best team we went against. I think West Virginia did a lot of different things defensively. They kind of threw us out of whack last year against them. So I give them their credit and their flowers. And then, Kansas State this year, we kind of went out there flat and they showed why they were, the top of the well, they didn't make it.
They didn't make it, did they?
But they showed why they were at the top of the Big 12 for sure. So one of those. It's kind of hard to pick between the two because we pretty much lost by the same.
So who's the best? I know this is.
I knew it was coming.
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, the best D lineman. I'm a D lineman type guy too. So who's the best D lineman you go against?
And it's as much as I don't want to give this guy his respect, I have to give this guy his respect. This year, West Virginia, number 5. I can't even remember the kid's name at this point, or the man's name because he's a grown man. But that was the first collegiate sack I've ever gave up, or first sack in my whole entire career, high school included. Number 5 from West Virginia, very long kid. Lean. He wasn't really fat. Kind of played DN, could move inside, play D-tack a little bit. But I got long arms, which we know, big hands. He had long arms, big hands, and he knew how to work different moves and stuff. So it kept you on your toes for sure. So I have to go him for sure as far as who I played against now. Just overall, he's still at Cincy. He's decided to come back for another year. But my teammate Dante Corleone, when you talk about a guy that's 335 but can move like a dancing lion, like super light on his toes. He'll probably end up when he runs a 40 running like a 4.8 or something abnormally crazy.
That'd be 395.
No,
335.
335. He's about 6'2", 335.
Better broke him down and the Candy 395.
Yeah,
But I thought I heard 395. That's why I said, what?
Straight dog, though.
Yeah.
So I have to either go one of them. I'm trying to think. Colorado, or as a whole defensive line, I'll probably give it to Colorado, though.
Okay, so you got to go get Dion, too.
Yeah.
So how was that getting to go against, was it the hype, what it really was, going against Shador and Travis? Was it the hype there, or was it just like,
just another game?
Yeah, it's another game. That's your job. That's your job to go against them and play them that week. So why are we boasting it? Why are we hyping it up?
So you see me, I'd be like, Coach, call that screen. Let me get out open field, go get Travis.
But it's the actual atmosphere of that game leading up to that game because, we'll call it for it is. A lot of people, that's what they say about, the program. It's just a bunch of hype. It's just a bunch of this, and this,
Nah, they was legit football players. I ain't taking that away from them at all. Nah, like they got after us for sure. Like, defensively and offensively. They could move the ball offensively very well in the passing game. They even established a run game against us. A whole lot of counter, a whole lot of power, a whole lot of inside zone that game. As far as offensively, but defensively they was very good as well. Just being able to mix in, blitzes and twists and stunts and stuff like that. So they got a good football team, especially when they're hitting on all cylinders. Does it help that everything's on YouTube and televised? Probably not, but no, they got my respect as far as how they play football now. Do I agree with all the hype and extra things that go into it? Nah, that's not my alley.
Score a touchdown.
Yeah, you hit that against us.
Yeah, so throughout your journey,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Because it's been a remarkable journey.
Mm-hmm.
What if up to this point, what's been like the biggest moment for you in all of this?
Biggest moment. Hey, that's a good question. I'd probably have to say the first game of the season last year, EKU. I think it was a full circle moment, from pregame to kickoff to going out there and playing in front of your fan base for the very first time and that being your first game that you're starting.
Yeah.
I think it was just a full circle moment, in which first game in the NFL would be a full circle moment again. But I think I'd have to say that for sure. Just getting that opportunity, or even I'd throw TCU senior night in there as well, because you going from opening a chapter of a book to closing it, so very, very bittersweet.
Are you closing that chapter at Cincinnati, entering the draft, or did you graduate this year, or will you?
I graduated last year. Last December.
All he did was play football this year.
Yeah,
I'm
got two certificates.
He made money. Let me put that respect on that.
He made money and play football this year. I respect it. I'm with it.
Learned a little bit about sports coaching, a little bit about
proud of you, for real, man. For real, dog.
That's outstanding, man. Like,
I'm proud
this is
of
definitely a story that the youth needs to hear. You know what I'm saying? The youth needs to hear this, man. They need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like you say, keep hitting that wall, man. Keep hitting it. Don't stop. Don't try to go around. Keep hitting it. Yeah, because if at the beginning of your story, I mean, I wouldn't have thought that this would be the outcome of it.
Right.
If I would have heard the beginning of the story, you know what I mean, to where to say, okay, this story that I'm hearing is going to have this ending, I'd have been like, man, it's a movie.
For
Mhm.
real.
I'd have been like,
That's it,
honestly, I'd have
man.
been like, it's a movie. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
This is something that somebody's wrote out. It's scripted. It's not real. You know what I mean? Where's the Hollywood
Yeah,
execs?
where's your producers?
Yeah, but to sit here and hear this and know this, man, it's like, yeah, it just makes even more respect.
Right.
But yeah, I'm proud of you, dog. Former teammate, former friend. I'm proud of you, dog. For
I
real,
appreciate
like
it,
for
man.
real, dog. Like I gotta give you flowers, dog. I swear I do.
Oh,
And
my
I
bad.
ain't saying that, but like you know, your family, your family runs deep, man. You got a lot of football players, a lot of greats in your family. Tinsley's, all of them, all the Q brothers,
Yeah.
great. The dad, great.
Right.
Even Miss Tina. I love Miss Tina too. I love Miss
She
Tina.
appreciate that shout
Yeah,
out for
I
sure.
love her. I'm saying, man, the Tinsley name runs deep, and you making it, you holding that standard, bro. You really did.
Right.
You put a high standard on that name.
And I mean, just not. I mean, I'm not even just speaking on that. I'm just talking about what he does even outside of football.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, seeing that,
Mhm.
you know, um, I've called him several times. You know what I'm saying? Even while he be a concert, like, man, I don't like calling you during. I don't want to mess up your folks.
Right.
No, man, call me. Call me. He said, man, if I'm available, I'll answer the phone. If not, as soon as I get a chance, I'll get back with
Yeah.
you. Not one time is that not been true. Not one time has anything been, too important or, oh man, I got too much going on. This and this. Even to have him sitting here now in this interview, we've had to reschedule a couple times, but it's never been an issue to that. It's always been, hey, what works best? Yeah, I can make it. I can do this, or let's do this, or let's do that. He's always going outside of himself. You know what I'm saying? To try to help, man. And I mean, bruh, I can't speak. I can't speak on that enough. Just about you and your character, man. Like I
Right.
want people to like really understand that, man. You are a sincere and genuine person,
Mhm.
like through and through, man. It's not an act that you putting on or nothing, man. Like
It ain't. This
it's,
is
it's,
him,
it's,
dog. This is him.
this is really who this man is. Really laid back, humble,
Man.
really laid back, humble, man.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes,
I really
Yes,
sir.
sir.
do.
Yes,
Most
sir.
definitely.
Real deal.
Yes, sir. And maybe we get that post in that
What?
video.
When you get right back. No, it'll probably be a little bit different. We'll
Yeah.
probably be a little bit established.
Man.
Yeah, we try to come up too.
Shoot.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying?
most
Right.
definitely.
Dude, I can get a duplicate jersey. I can get a duplicate set up on this wall.
Right.
Make over here.
Yeah,
But,
definitely would love that to
Yeah.
happen, man. Wherever you land at, man, we
Most
definitely like to throw you up there on the wall, man.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. And if I'm in town, I'm free. You already know. I don't mind. I definitely like what y'all boys got going on for sure. And then, y'all just keep building on it, man. I know for sure there's times where it's like it doesn't feel rewarding, but a couple months, years down the line of just continuing to do it, y'all look back on this and be like, oh dang. Like that's where we started. Like everybody has a base, everybody has a ground. So definitely just building on that and then keeping the perspective. Like, what's the outlook? What's the final picture in y'all's head that y'all see? So, most definitely.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. And like I said, man, we're here with hopeful NFL
Yeah.
draftee Dartanyan Tinsley, number 54. We'll give Masadi a shout out to he wore 54.
Try to take away from it.
I was hurt in the belly.
Hey, you would say he kind of passed it on or whatnot. But nah,
That is
man.
kind of what happened. He was the last person wearing ponies.
Yes. Please check
Well,
out the
also-
episode. Like, subscribe,
Share and comment.
please. And all stand on the merchandise. You can go to D's, T's, and More on Facebook. Look it up. Making purchases. Yeah, man. We just appreciate the support. Like I say, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat. We'll be getting on the other social media platforms. Just like Like, share, and follow us. I'm your host, Byron.
I'm beside, and we'll holler at you.